Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday and time for our weekly challenge. So you know how Scripture tells us that there is nothing new under the sun. So this idea came to me. I am not saying that someone else hasn't had the same idea, and maybe lots of folks have had the same idea, and you may see that out there someplace. I have never seen it. It came to me in the middle of the night. Whoo, this would be a cool thing. So that's what this is. So I am calling them Garden Gate fold cards. And I used other templates, I guess you could say. And in some cases, I didn't use any templates. I just drew it on my own. To come up with these Garden Gate fold cards. And I have put them on a file on our Facebook group. And so there are 5 or 6, I think. So there's this one, and this one, and this one I drew this in here just to show you, you could add things to it. Left this one blank, and so you'll see that they fold in to each other. Same way with this. It folds in. And this one. I hope I wrote fold line on all those. Yeah, I did. And this one. Now on this one, it goes right to the edge. So when you print it out, you're just going to print that whole, you'll print the whole thing. And if you want to cut that white edge off, I don't know if it'll have a white edge, since this is white. I don't know. We'll see. And then there's this one. And this one. And this is one of those, again, that over on this side, I put a design and then left this one blank, just to show you that there's other things that you can do. And then these tabs, you could actually, cut these tabs out and put them on other cards if you wanted. So let me show you what I've done, so that you kind of get the idea of how these work. So this paper is a digital by Shabby Dabby Doodah. It is called Claridge's, just so that you know. And what I have done is I have taken a piece of coffee dyed paper, or tea dyed, and I have, it was a full piece, and I folded it in half, and I sewed around first I glued this background piece on, and then I sewed around it. Then I made this piece from this pattern. And so you can see how it opens up. Now, what you can do with these, I should have had a book. So we'll pretend like that this is a journal. So you can glue this page onto your spread like this, or you could use this as a ring bound. So you could put, because there are some ring bound journals. Let me show you if I can find it real quick. Here we go. So as you can see, this is a ring bound journal page that's got holes, and then you just take those rings, those notebook rings, there, and put them all together. These are pages that I haven't got decorated yet. So you could use it, because see, it's about that same size. You could use it as a card. So you could just use it as a single piece, as a card, but you would want to make sure that the back is finished like that. And then you can write on the inside. So, using this template, I cut this part out of also out of a tea-dyed paper, and then I added paper from the Claridge's from Shabby Dabby Doodah. This is tea-dyed, what do you call this stuff? Seam binding tape that I bought. And it's glued behind here. And then it fastens this shut. And here's a tip for you. If you will tie your bows upside down, they'll be perfect. Just like that. So, there's that one. Using this template. And then this one I made using this template, the one that goes right to the edge. And again, I just used an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. In this case, this digital kit is from the Journal Boat, and they have, well, both Shabby Dabby Doodah and the Journal Boat have beautiful digitals. So I have used an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, fold it in half. Now, as you can see here, I sewed around this one. I did not sew around this one because I didn't have the right color thread, or I would have, because I thought that a dark blue, like a navy, instead of black. I used black here, but I thought a dark blue. I don't have a dark blue yet. So if I get a dark blue, then I'll sew around it. If not, then it is what it is. Anyway, 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, folded in half, and glued. You want to make sure that you glue them. Glue the page together. And then that's going to be your background page. That can either go onto your spread, use as a card, you know, all the things that I talked about on the other one. And then this one, I put a little, some kind of little winky thing. I don't know what you call that. Some kind of little twirly deal. And then it opens up like this. So see, the idea is that it looks like a gate, a garden gate opening. And in this case, it opens to a garden. I thought that was really cute. So, and the way I did this one was, so this was a, I used a heavier piece of paper to print on this, glued, you know, folded it in half, glued it together, rounded the corners, And I used Stormy Sky, Distress Oxide, and a VersaFine in a really dark color. This is called Twilight. It's a very dark navy blue. That's this one. So I built my color up, as you can see. So this is more Stormy Sky here, and then along the very edge is the Twilight. I also used the Distress Edger. You can just as easily use the edge of your scissors if you'd rather. But, and then then this page was torn. So on this one, I used a this ruler, the tear ruler. Okay, anyway, so then once I made this piece out of the heavier paper, this polka dot piece is just regular printer paper. Tore it, put it on, and edged it. I distressed edged. This piece right here is made out of a it's a heavier, I printed it on a heavier, the same stuff as this, a heavier cardstock, and I printed it double-sided. So on one side I printed this, and on the other side I printed the gingham. So I didn't see, whereas here the background is tea-dyed. Here, I wanted the background to be printed paper, and then I was going to layer some of the digitals on top of it. Whereas here, I layered the printed paper on top of it, of the tea-dyed paper. So, I fussy cut out some of the pieces. I put a pocket over here. Don't you just love this kit? And then, you know, you want to do all your planning ahead of time, because like this little twirly deal has got a brad. It's a brad, so I wanted to make sure that however my closure was going to be, that I was going to have a piece over it so you wouldn't see the little brad, the back of the brad. So that's the way this is. You open this up into the garden. You can sit a while and enjoy the view. And then this little twirly thing closes right back over it. And all of these will need some kind of a closure. If I can get my twirly deal to twirl. So all of these fold cards will need some kind of a closure to hold them, to hold it closed. So you'll need to think about that in your planning of however it is that you want to do it. So, and again, this can be part of a spread. It could be a card. It could be, you know, and you don't have to use all this if you don't want. You can just use the the Garden Gate fold card. So, that's what I'm calling them, because that's what that's the way they seem to me, that they're fold cards. So, again, nothing new under the sun. You know, I'll probably go out on YouTube today and see 16 videos where people have, you know, got the same idea. But, you know, it is what it is. I haven't seen them yet. So, these are the templates that I so this is this one, and as you can see, I got all kinds of folds and stuff in there to figure out how they needed to be. And then this one Where's this one at? So this one is this one, and we know that that folds like that. This is the one that I used for this one, and it folds together like that. It meets right here. This one is this one, and again it folds together so it just meets right there. That's the one I did with the Shabby Dabby Doodah paper. This is the one that I did with the Journal Boat paper. Now see, some of them, like this one, fold right together in the center, so you can kind of peek into the garden gate, into the garden, through whatever, whatever opening you've got. This one actually folds over each other, like that. So there's different kinds in there. And you don't have to, the challenge is to use these templates or to make your own fold card. You don't have to use these if you don't want to. And then again, this one looks like that. And if you would rather, when you're folding yours, fold them over so that they cross into each other more, go for it. And then this one, oops, sorry, move the camera. This is another one of those that folds over the top of each other. So I was thinking that if maybe you had some kind of, now you'd have to use a heavier paper than this, but if you had an opening here, or just cut out little squares and leave the frame, and then when you closed it over, you could see through it. That'd be kind of cute. So that would look kind of windowy. So that's your challenge for this week, is to use these templates or to make your own template and make some garden gate fold cards. Now, if you don't want them to have a garden theme, that's okay. This one really doesn't have a garden theme. And then either show how you're using it in a spread, or, are you going to use it as a card? Are you going to use it as a binder, a ring binder type notebook? Which those ring binder notebooks are really neat. I don't have the rings in these, obviously, because I was just working on the... Why is this one upside down? Must go like this. Apparently, yeah, it does. Yeah, this one's upside down too. There we go. I'm showing you everything upside down. Good night. Yeah, this one's right side up. So anyway, I've been working on this one to decorate the pages. So to do a ring bound journal, again, it's just an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper folded in half. If you're going to sew the edges, just put some glue, glue gun, or what do you call it? Glue stick right in the center, just to hold it so that you can sew it. Trim the edges, and then decorate the pages. This has got book page on it. This is a beautiful kit, also by Shabby Dabby Doodah. Oh, I'm not going to remember the name of it. But if you go out there and look at her stuff, oh, she's got gorgeous stuff. Gorgeous. So, anyway, tell us how you're going to use it, or at least what your plan is. And I hope that you enjoy making these and sending them out or using them in your spreads. We didn't have a lot of activity in the group this week, so I don't know if the if the challenge was boring or if everybody's busy, or if, if you don't want to do the challenge anymore, then I can, then I'll stop putting together a challenge. So please tell me whether or not you want me to continue with the challenges or not. And then, because if not, then I'll do other things. I'll use my time other places. So anyway, but in this case, what I try and do is whatever it is that I try and make, it's something that I will use, is what I'm saying. It's something that I will use either in my spread or as a card, whatever. I'm noticing here, I'm just moving this camera everywhere. I'm noticing here that these are two different heights. So this paper that I used obviously wasn't 8.5 by 11, and that's because I used 3-hole punch paper, and I cut the holes off, and then I stained the paper. So because I didn't want the holes on there. So that's what happens sometimes when you use what you have on hand. And I've got all this paper that was already drilled with 3 holes in it. It's beautiful paper, and it takes coffee stains so beautifully. But it makes for a smaller paper because you have to cut those holes off. So, all right. Anyway, so that's your challenge for this week. I hope you have a great week. And we're supposed to have warmer weather here this week in the 70s, which is good because I'm tired of cold weather. I'm not a cold weather kind of person. So, anyway, hope you have a great week. And I'm going to sign off for now. This is Deb. See ya.